States, hello world. My name is Johan, I'm a tour guide here in Comuna 13. So what we're about to see is just try to see like the social context about the Comuna 13, okay? On the way along, we're gonna see many graffitis that we're gonna explain in detail what really happened here. You have to keep in mind that this district right here was considered one of the most dangerous places almost 18 years ago. So I wanted to take a look over there. All this is the Comuna 13. But I'm gonna start talking about a very particular place, which is the bottom field right there. You can see it, the one that has no trees. The cranes are digging out the ground. So I want to explain what's that. Around the world, we have many mass graves. This is the second biggest mass grave in Latin America. The first one is placed in Chile, and that's the second one. That is known as Las Comreras. This is where all the garbage and all the rubbish is taken to that place over there. The one that has no trees and is on the bottom. Why is it so important for Community 13? Remember guys that between 1990 and 2002, the guerrilla took control of this sector. Every time the guerrilla used to kill people, murder the people, they took the corpse or the body to that place over there. So that's the mass grave where thousands of people are buried beneath that ground, right? The war, all the ones that were killed during the war are buried beneath that ground. The second biggest mass grave in Latin America. So try to imagine the big impact that that mass grave has. We don't have a certain estimation how many people are buried, but it said almost to 1,000 to 2,000 people. So that's too many people. So try to imagine the big Holocaust that we lived for years here. It was considered one of the worst civil war in Latin America. That was Operation Orion. Remember that happened the 16th of October of 2002. Lasted 3 days and 2 nights. All the civils, many civils, innocent people were killed during that intervention. But thanks to the street art, we can talk about a key concept here, which is transformation. On the way up, I'm gonna go in deep about this concept, okay? Have fun, guys. So we're gonna start with our first graffiti, which is Black Lives Matter. As you have any idea about this, is what happened to Floyd in the United States. Unfortunately, the discrimination when you see a black people is too big around the world, but here it's not. We don't care what race you are, what skin color you have, where you come from. We don't care. We're all the same, even inside and outside. But you have to also keep in mind something. 40% of the population here in Comuna 13, they're Afro people. So on the way along, we're gonna see brunette and black people as well. So the black race is very important, and that's why this graffiti was painted. Chota Trece, the one you see on top, is one of the most important graffiti artists here in the Comuna 13. And Apollo M&D, those are the 3 graffiti artists that painted this. You may wonder, what's the art technique used for painting all this? Spray, only spray. That's the only technique used for painting all this, okay? Okay guys, so we've come one of the most important places here in Comuna 13. This place right here is known as Sergio Cespedes. And this slide, as you can see right here, is a memorial to all the kids that lost their lives during the intervention. Remember, we lived one of the worst civil war ever in Latin America. Many people died, including kids as well. So that's why we built this slide. But most is because Sergio Cespedes. Sergio Cespedes was a little kid full of dreams. He wanted to be a doctor one day. And it researched that by 2009, he showed up the window and one bullet went through his brain and therefore he died. So the guerrilla paramilitary, they didn't care about how little you are, they didn't care about the age. For example, when they turned 7 or 8 years, a kid here, they already know, they were trained how to use a weapon. So they were forced to kill all the people, innocent people. So try to imagine how was a childhood right here. It was very tough, wasn't it? Very tough. So actually that's the symbolism of this life. To all the kids that lost their life during the war that we lived in almost 20 years, okay? On this side, guys, we can see a little bit about the art. Yes, graph is another important graffiti artist, local graffiti artist here in the Comuna 13. And this basically is to praise the local culture. This is a very typical festival that is celebrated here in Medellín in August, right? Which is known as Fair of Flowers or Feria de Flores. These are typical hats that the people wear during this festival. Backwards, you can see flowers and hummingbirds. You may wonder, why do we have flowers and hummingbirds? Because Colombia is one of the richest countries around the world in hummingbirds and also in flowers as well. You can read it on Google, and it's a total fact. So in order to praise, to see how important is our country and our culture, our city too, we wanted to paint all this. But you have to keep in mind that the bird also represents hope. Hope because it can fly. We as locals, we flew after the war. So that's why the bird is very representative for us. So I want you to take a look of all these amazing murals. Okay guys, so welcome again. Okay, I'm going to start explaining you a little bit. I already talked about a little bit about the war. So what I want you to talk about now is about the transformation in the sector. After 2002, remember we had the military intervention, the 16th of October, and after that the government started to take care more about Comuna 13. In 2006, we opened the cable car system, the one you see out there. We were the only district that has no cable car. Most of the districts right here, they had. But after the military intervention, we started to have all this. The electric stairs, the cable car, that it was built by 2006. The electric stairs were built by 2011 here in the sector. Okay? So try to see those are like integrated concepts about transformation here. So as you've seen, guys, it's not only about street art. It's also about innovating things like the electric stairs and the transportation system. Take a look at this. This was the Comuna 13 before. We didn't have electric stairs alone. We are placing almost 2,000 meters feet from the ocean. So try to imagine how steep is this hill right here. 30 years ago, and this is how you see the Comuna 13 nowadays with the electric stairs. From the bottom to the top is compounded of 6 levels from the bottom to the top. There's a misconception about the electric stairs. Why? Because some people say that it was built for tourism reasons, but it was not. It was built for social purposes. The idea was to help out the local community, right? Because before, it took like 45 minutes to go down this steep hill. With these electric stairs, the people take less than 5 or 6 minutes. So try to imagine the impact that these electric stairs has. It's too big, isn't it? Right? So take a video of this amazing picture, the before and after of our Comuna 13.
sur es un medio de transporte, cultura y deporte, cambio y evolución. Si les hablamos del balón, el rojo Medellín con los hinchas de su selección.
Okay, right here, guys, we have another mural that's very important also for the Comuna 13. Because this one just tried to represent or try to convey the importance of the education. I already talked to you about the war that we lived between 1990 and 2002. After that, we have more than 11 schools right here in the sector and 11 library parks. Because, well, that's the best weapon we can offer nowadays to a child. The message says, Medellín, a city that educates with love. And want to see on the bottom part. So that's why you see the guy reading right here. Because that's the new legacy we want to leave for the upcoming generations, right? So the people backwards, those are the ancestors, the grandfathers and grandmothers. You have to keep in mind, guys, that they were never instructors. They never went to school, neither college. They don't even know how to read and how to write. So try to imagine, all what they know is empirical. So the empirical knowledge is very important for the Comuna 13 because thanks to empirical knowledge, most of these houses were built like people like those ones. You see it backwards. People that never went to school, never went to college. So that's why that people right here is very important for us, okay? So take a look at that. Okay guys, so welcome again. So now this is Independencia número 2. It's another neighborhood that belongs to Comuna 13. At the beginning I told you that we have more than 31 neighborhoods within the Comuna. All these Independencia número 2. There is something very particular that all the faces of each house is painted with color. The color represents life for Comuna 13. So that's why Johan, the local graphic artist, he forced the people, or we just try to put colors on the walls because with color, it's like the way we tell the others that we survived of the war, right? So try to see the importance of the color right here. That build over there is a new road that's being built because the idea is just to take all the tourists to the second biggest mass grave, which is Las Combrera, the one we saw at the beginning of this tour, right? It is supposed to be done by December of this year, right? So as you can see also, guys, I want you to see these 3 murals that is very important for Comuna 13. This one right here wants to represent the labor class here in Comuna 13. As I told you in the mural out there, I told you that most of the people that live here, they have empirical knowledge. People that they don't even know how to read, they don't even know how to write. So most of these houses were built by people like him, like this guy right here. The helmet represents the strength that they had to do in order to build all these houses. The wings is because this guy right here is deaf. He is Don Genado. On the other side, on that mural out there, that's Pachamama. The Pachamama for Latin American cultures is Mother of Earth, right? The one you see right there, and that one represents the beauty. But backwards, you can see that Pachamama is full of like a gloomy atmosphere when the trees has no leaves. It means that was the war that we lived, remember, between 1990 to 2002. So that's why the backwards atmosphere represents the war. Pachamama, the beauty in the middle of the darkness. On the other side, the third mural, right on the corner, we can see the Dreamer. The Dreamer is a memorial to all the kids that lost their life during the intervention. Mostly the Afro kid. Remember, 40% of the population that live here is Afro descendant. So that's why you see brunette and black people. So the importance of our race is very, very, very prominent in this sector, right? So those are the 3 murals. Now we're going to see another important mural for us, for the Comuna 13. Come with me, guys. guys. So we've come I would say one of the most important graffiti or murals here in the Comuna 13. This one right here. So remember that at the beginning I told you that the elephant is very representative. It represents the family. They always stay together. But this in particular represents the 4 elements that compound our Comuna 13, which is what? Rap. The elephant that's holding the mic represents the rapper. The one that has a shoe on his ear represents the break dancer. The other one represents the DJ, right? And the one on top, you imagine what's that? The graffiti artist. Those are the 4 elements that compound our Comuna 13. Why? Because thanks to the art, we can tell the world that thanks to the art, we can express all the thoughts, all the feelings, all the pain that we lived for almost 2 decades of a strong pain through our arts, with the rap, with the break dance, and also the different high talented people that we got here in Comuna 13. But there's something else.
Siempre las veo con una abeja roja.
So on this, we can see that the 4 elements of the Comuna 13. On both sides, we can see. On this side, we can see the war. So that's why the red color represents the blood. All the people that lost their lives during the intervention. Remember the operation that happened in 2002? That was Operation Orion. So that was the period between 1990 to 2002. And the other one represents the transformation. The houses that represent the local houses from this slum, and the stairs, those are the electric stairs. Remember that they were opened by 2011 for social purposes. And the author is Chota Trece. Chota Trece, you see on the bottom. It was painted, look, the 15th of January of 2019, almost 2 years ago. It was very... other word again, this is Johan. Now we are one of the most important soccer field here in Comuna 13. You remember that all the way up, we see one of the biggest mass graves in Latin America, where all the ones that lost their life in Orion and all the victims was buried beneath that ground. This was a place when the guerrilla used to torture the people, to murder the people. Remember that at the beginning, I told you that the kid, when they turned 7 or 8 years, they were trained to shoot a weapon, to shoot a gun. So it was right here. So this was the center when they murdered the people right here, right? There's another thing in particular. This is soccer field. What happened is that we don't only want to promote the peace in the slums, but we also want to promote this peace inside the stadiums. In the 80s and the 90s, look what happened. The violence in the stadium was too big. If you wore a green shirt and you wore like a blue or a red shirt, you could be stabbed or killed. So the idea, we just try to put together the two fans from the different soccer teams. These are local soccer teams from Medellín, right? So we want to promote the pieces I told you, not only in the slum, but also in the soccer field. So we bring them on here, and they took the drums, they took guitars, and they just tried to cheer up all the match that we got here, because the idea of that project was to, as I told you, promote the peace inside the stadiums. So try to imagine, the Holocaust started right here, but after that, the beautiful things came. Maluma, one of the biggest reggaeton artists nowadays in the world, Maluma, he filmed his video 11 a.m. right here in this soccer field. And it has more than 300 million views on YouTube. It's almost 400 million views on YouTube nowadays. So try to imagine the big impact that this has. From the darkness, now we can see beautiful things as that video that was filmed 2 years ago. So I want you to take a look of all this. Here's a big guy right here. No, okay. He's a local rapper from the Comuna 13, right? His name is Brooklyn, so I want to follow him on the Instagram.
Yeah, arroba BRK Graphic Tour.
Graphic Tour, okay? So follow him.
BRK Graphic Tour.
Apart that he's a tour guide, he's a rapper. He's a very good rapper, and he's a survivor of the war.
Yeah,
Please
man.
follow him, okay?
Welcome, people.
So I want you to introduce you to this girl, Andrea, right? So she's a local, well, she's the owner of the shop, so I wanted you to see her and try to see like the gas that we got here. So remember the evolution for Comuna 13? So those monkeys are going up and going down those stairs. Those monkeys represent the evolution. The Afro girl, that's a palanquera, right? The lion that represents the fears. Here's the Afro women. That is very representative. But she's not Afro, but she's so cute though. I hear like different styles. This one right here try to represent the importance of the equality and also open-minded. That's why you see the lock on the forehead. And the bird, the yellow bird is taking the key to open that lock on, right? You can see that? And you can see that we are made of bones and meat, so we're all the same. So we don't care what race you are, if you're blondie, if you're black people, if you're a brunette, but we're all the same. That's the equality. And here, and the three birds represents the freedom, because as you can see the graffiti, the three birds are outside the cage, right? That represents the freedom. That we were free after the violence that we live in from 1990 to 2002. So try to see the importance of that, right? So this just want to instill the importance of the equality, the freedom, and to be open-minded. Open-minded to the new perspective, new religions, new ideas, because the world is changing every single day. So we have to be adjusted to the new changes. Like the mural tried to reflect. But there's another fact right here. What's that? This mural was painted by a Chilean graffiti artist from Chile. He is a surgeon, and he's 40 years old. He came here, he gave us this graffiti as a donation. So try to see the big impact that this community has all over Latin America. It's big, isn't it? Okay?